How to be a good friend. 1. Make sure they're okay the moment you sense something's wrong. It's easy to go overboard, but when tactfully, it can mean the world to them. When you show you're concerned, send them a text, a phone call, even better, or surprise them by showing up at their front door. Make an excuse to spend time with them. This doesn't mean you have to shove advice down their throat. It just means showing you want them to be okay. Unfortunately, there's no universal method to being caring without being too pushy. Instead, you got to figure out what works best and adjust as needed. Some people are very good at hiding their negative emotions. However, you've learned hopefully you're learned when they're wearing the masks. Masks get heavy when you wear them for so long, and sometimes you forget how to take it off. I used to put it on I used to put on a brave face when I was going through rough times. It sucked, but having good friends around who knew when I wasn't really okay helped a lot. 2. Know when to be serious and when to be goofy. When it's time to be serious, you get down to business. No goofing off. No cheap attempt at being funny to avoid the real issues. You may argue from time to time, and that's alright. It's natural. Be mature and aim at finding common ground instead of trying to devote the attention elsewhere. There are times to be messing around, but it gets tiring for others if you don't know how or when to turn it off. If you can't, then how can others trust you enough to share important things with you? 3. Go the extra mile when they ask for help. When they ask for your opinion or help on something, that means something. It means they value what you think. If someone hands you an essay asking for you to help proofread or revise it, then go the extra mile. Bust out a red pen and start marking it up like crazy. Show them you're as invested as they are. This means never half-ass things when it comes to your friends. These are your friends we're talking about here. It's a committed relationship, and it sucks when the other person doesn't put in the effort to help when needed. 4. Don't give up on them during their darkest hours. Going hand in hand with first point. You don't give up if they're going through really difficult times when they may begin to close themselves off from you and your other friends, and they say no to going out and hide from the world. This annoys some people and eventually they give up, but good friends keep trying. Sure, it sucks to be the one trying to pull a friend out of rough times, and it does get difficult to not throw my hands up in the air when frustrated, but damn it, I know they're not going to be able to get out on their own. 5. Make them feel wanted. This means you listen to everything they say intently. You show you like being around them. Hell, sometimes even say it outright. You're an awesome friend. It's not as fun when you're not there. Or I like hanging out with you, you know. You should be comfortable enough together to be blunt about it without feeling weird. Insecurity kicks in when it shouldn't. It doesn't take a lot to show you care, and we reassure them from time to time. 6. Tell them I always got your back at least once and mean it. Remind them that you're friends for life by making sure they know you'll always be there. This means keeping in touch or being there to cheer them when they've got it rough. If you've never told your closest friend this, then make sure you do it next time your friends tell you about a problem they're hung up on. 7. Understand and respect boundaries. Know that you don't have to be together 24/7. I need my space to recharge, and I don't always feel like hanging out with others. That doesn't mean I don't like them. Good friends aren't pushy and don't get upset because of an occasional no. In fact, good friends know how to pick up right where they left off, no matter how long it's been since they last saw each other. 8. Be honest and constructive when needed. There's a difference between being conscious of their feelings and letting them ruin themselves in the long run. If they've developed a bad habit, they kindly point it out and show you're concerned. They're picking up they're picking up smoking, you care about their lungs, drinking too much. Let them know you've noticed. For less serious example, imagine their breath smells and they're going on a date. Do you want them to crash and burn later, or would you rather let them suffer an ego hit? Fix their act and get out there in full confidence. If you feel like criticism are harsh, offer them tips on how to improve. 9. Introduce them to others. Your social circle might be tightly knit, but there's always room for expansion. Introduce them to people they know just to show you're not afraid of being seen with them. Remember, you want to be proud of being in public with them. It's up to them to decide if they want to start hanging out with these new people in the long run. In fact, it doesn't even matter if they do fun. It doesn't even matter if they do fun is what you're aiming for here. 10. Jump to the rescue when asked. We all get in unexpected trouble, and it's good to know people will jump to your rescue. My car's battery died in a parking lot at 3 in the morning last month. I called people I knew would come to my aid because they were the type to help. Guess who I didn't call in? Those who I knew would have an excuse. I'm very glad for the person and God for the person who wrote this article and that I wrote it down in the copy. 11. Don't bring up uncomfortable subjects they dislike. This doesn't mean avoiding subjects that are important and possibly life-changing. I'm talking about bringing up things that serve no constructive purpose but annoy them, or just fill the silence. Brings me up to my next point. 12. Be okay with gaps in conversation. Silent gaps with natural occur in a conversation. Be comfortable with them. Don't feel like you absolutely have to fill every single second with a sentence. It's okay to be comfortable and just enjoy each other's company, especially as an introvert. I need time to recharge after spending time with a lot of people. I really enjoy my time, but I need to recharge my batteries on occasion. With that in mind, learn the real differences between introverts and extroverts. You may have the wrong idea. 13. Be dependable. Punctuality and keeping promises. When you say you'll do something, be a person that sticks to your word. That means being punctual, not going back on your word. That means being punctual, not going back on your promises, and ensuring that you're viewed as a reliable friend. Being unreliable will make your friends think twice before asking you for something. 14. Learn how to apologize. It takes a lot to admit that you did something wrong. Don't be afraid of admitting to your friends that you messed up. It happens to the best of us. Someone who can swallow his or her pride and admit they're in the wrong is a great friend. 15. Know how to show you're happy for them. We all get too caught up in our own lives and forget how to show appreciation. Sure, we know we care, but it's difficult for the other person to know you do. If you don't show it, it's easy to tell when someone is dishonest. Whoa, I'm so happy for you. With a non-ego face. I'm so happy for you. A non-ego face isn't very convincing. Be invested in their successes and show in your facial expressions that you really are happy. I'm very happy that when people make progress, make the effort to appreciate their creator and God, and to know the one that loves them, Jesus, that sacrificed for our sins. That I really appreciate that, and the little small acts others do for me, I appreciate it, and it's important to help people that the small things as well to appreciate, which goes to the next point. 16. Show small gestures on occasion. It could be simple as buying something you thought they might like. I'd be thrilled if a friend of mine bought me a sonic screwdriver from Doctor Who. That would tell me a lot of things. Firstly, I know they remember what I enjoy. Second, they know they were thinking of me. Third, they spent their hard-earned cash to let me know they like me. Awesome feeling. The cash you own comes from God, and you show the love of those around you by using God's resources to help others and those you love. And if they have the source of love that comes from God in them, they won't hesitate to do likewise with you, and there'll be no conflict or anything, because they won't have a love of money. They'll have a love of God for them, because they put God above money, so they won't hesitate to help you. And because they don't have attachment to money, they have attachment of loving others as they love themselves. You love others, you treat others as you wish others to be treated. and you love others as you wish to be loved, as God loved you. 17. Start saying yes more often to your friends and make time for them. It's not a good feeling to be turned down by your friends. Sometimes life gets in the way, and that's okay. After all, remember the point about boundaries. However, I know how easy it is to say no. It's because habitual. It's just so easy when you're not feeling it. Make a point and say yes more often to your friends when you can. You're not that busy. You're not that busy unless you're absolutely certain there is no possibility of making room for your friends. You have no reason to have no time for your friends. It's easy to convince yourself you're too busy. Don't buy into your own stories. Always make time for them because it's easy to drift apart. 18. Keep in touch and make sure you don't drift apart. Life goes on and everyone has their own thing to do. Sure, picking up where you left off may be easy for you, but it's just as easy to completely lose contact. It takes effort, especially when there's a lot of physical distance. To maintain a good friendship, it's a relationship that takes both sides to work. The greatest friend that you can have in this world is Jesus Christ. He is my best friend. But it's very important to understand that if you have anyone in your life that has the traits of God, heavenly virtues, they are a true blessing from God. And the first thing you do when you have someone in your life that is a light to you in the world of darkness is to thank God for that light and that gift that He gave you, because that person is a gift to you. Anyway, I hope this video helps you develop more kind of good traits to form bonds with people, but it's very important to get connection to the source of love, and that's God, because otherwise you'll just continue the same destructive cycle, and your friendship would not be based on the soul, but based on the flesh and the presence of this world instead of based on the soul. And that's the most important aspect to people's friendship and bonds, is the connection of souls, not connection to the flesh or the presence of a person, which is temporary, but your soul. So I hope this video helps you, and thanks so much for watching.